Good afternoon, students. Okay. In the last lecture of high voltage, we saw what is the need of generation of high voltage in the DC term, it's direct voltage, and we also saw two methods of rectification with using rectifier. So let's recatch up the last what we taught, what we learned. Okay, so first rectifier is needed to convert AC to DC, then half wave rectifier, then it's working in positive and negative half cycle, the waveform with the use of capacitor, the filter, how it affect, then full wave rectifier. In half wave we use one diode and full wave we use two diode to use both positive and negative half cycles. And again with the capacitor filter circuit. Okay, now we will start the other methods. We already saw the rectification method, that how we use rectification process to generate direct high voltage. Now the voltage, we saw half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, and also the voltage multiplier circuit is also there. So today we will learn that. Okay. So this is the voltage doubler circuit. Now doubler means, you can assume or you can say that doubler means it can double. So what will it double? Why we use it? To generate voltage. So obviously it will double the voltage. Which voltage? Input voltage, peak to peak. Okay, so the output of this doubler circuit will be the double of peak voltage, or we can say peak to peak voltage, positive peak voltage to negative peak voltage. Okay, so here you can see that we use two diode and two capacitor. So it is basically a diode and capacitor pump circuit which is moves the voltage on the output side and make it multiply it, okay, in twice. Now here you can also see that we didn't use any transformer in the input side. Before we saw that, see, here in half wave and full wave rectifier we use transformer as a input, but here on voltage doubler circuit we didn't use transformer. So the main advantage of this double circuit is, we can say that we don't need that very much high costly step up transformers to make the voltage double or to generate the voltage. We can easily make or generate high direct voltage with the any oscillating voltage, even the voltage with the PWM what we designed. Okay, so this is the main advantage of this voltage double circuit, and also it is a small current circuit. So in low current devices we can also use this double circuit. And in half wave and full wave rectifier, the output average voltage which we got is only the half of the input voltage, but here we get double of the input voltage. So it is also one main advantage. Here you can see it is a basic doubler circuit. Now we will show that how it works, how it generate 2 volt, twice the input voltage. Okay, so first you can see that in positive cycle the current will go from here to here and here to here, but in D1 you can say that D1 will be act as a reverse bias, so it will not work, so it will behave as an open switch, so no current will go in D1. So same, the current first will go to C1, then D2, and then on the load. Okay, now in the second negative half cycle, we can say negative half cycle, this term will be plus and upper one will be minus, so the current will go from here to here. So now the D1 will be behave as a forward bias, so it will be as a switch, closed switch. So the circuit will go like here to here, one path current and the second path. Okay, so both path will conduct the current. So here you can say that we connected capacitor charge as a plus sign here, so it will be charged. It will start charging up to the voltage V, whatever the input voltage we rate cap, it will be maximum, the maximum voltage of that will be charged to the capacitor. So now we can say that in negative cycle this C1 will got charged and this C2 will also conduct and also charge up to V max. Okay, now again the cycle is gone and the positive cycle came. So positive cycle, as we know that the D1 will not work, it will be work as an open circuit. So but now here the C1 capacitor is already charged up to V, and whatever the diode D2 will conduct voltage, it will be this capacitor voltage V and this V in voltage, so it will be conduct up to 2V, and that 2V will came to the C2, came across C2, and C2 will charge up to 2V max, that means twice of the input V. So whatever the load we will kept across the C2, it will be used as a, it will use as a twice volt. So this is the main principle of the voltage doubler circuit. This is how we can double the voltage of in the voltage doubler circuit. Okay. Now in this we saw that we can double the voltage, but we can also see that with the combination of these two diode and capacitor, this is the one circuit, and with the using it in series and parallel combination or in cascade combination, we can produce output voltage in the multiplication of input voltage. So it is the main, we can use it how much voltage we require according to our requirement. Here the cascade voltage double, it is given as a cascade voltage doubler circuit. So here you can also see, so here you can say that the input what we give is from here, and then after it the after it is going in T1 transformer, and T1 transformer you can see that this is the first what voltage doubler circuit. So here you can see across C1 the V voltage, input voltage, whatever the input voltage will be came across C1 will be charged up to V, then C2 will charge up to 2V, C2 will charge up to 2V, right? Then after 2V we connect one isolated transformer, it is called isolated transformer. It will isolate one circuit to another circuit. So this, whatever the purpose of this isolated transformer is to only provide the source to this two transformer. Okay, so now in again second C3, here also we have two capacitor C3 and C4. So C3 will have 2V, now 2V. Why 2V? Because the input of this was now become 2V, and so C3 will charge up to 2V and the twice of this input voltage. So resultant voltage what the C4 charge for will be 4 times of input voltage, main input rated input voltage. So this is, we can see that this is how much cascaded combinations, whatever how much we require the voltage, we can use that much of capacitors, diode in terms of voltage doubler circuit. So it is a cascade form of voltage doubler circuit, and here we can use this voltage doubler circuit to resultant in terms of thousands of voltage. to get the time. But the main disadvantage of this doubler circuit is it is a low current circuit. So if in any case the load across the load side the current will get increase, so immediately the output voltage will get reduced. So we need to this consider this thing and apply this thing to the only that load which have low current requirement. Okay, now in cascaded form we also saw the advantages and disadvantages of this doubler circuit. So this is the main waveform of this voltage doubler circuit. Here the first one, this waveform is the main input voltage waveform. Then the second one was the output voltage waveform. You can also see here that the output voltage waveform is the twice of the first input voltage. Afterward the third one, this is the main constant line, it is the constant DC term of the output voltage. So we converted output voltage and filtered it and make it in a DC. So we can also see here that it is exactly twice of the input voltage. So here we can also see that but here also we have to consider 2-3 things. The main one is we saw here that C1 is charged up to V, but the C2, the whatever the capacitor connected across the load is charged up to twice of the voltage. So we also have to make this C2 rated up to twice of the voltage. We cannot make these two capacitors same rating. It will not work if we use the same rating of 2 volt capacitor. Then the second capacitor will burn and it will not give us the proper performance and the result. So this thing also we have to. So whenever in cascaded form, if we use 2 or 3 or 4 combinations, so according to the combinations and calculation we have to use the capacitors according to their ratings. We cannot use all capacitors on the same rating. So this is the main thing we have to keep in mind. Okay, now we saw the capacitor waveform of the voltage doubler circuit. Okay, so whatever we saw up till now, it is the rectification method. First one was we saw was the half wave rectifier, then full wave rectifier. Then now we saw voltage doubler circuit. We can also say that voltage multiplier circuit, because it is the norm basically of multiplication of voltage. We can use the voltage doubler circuit in the cascaded or circuit and series and parallel form, and we can make the output whatever we want according to our requirement. So now there are also other methods which we use to generate the high direct voltage. One of the method which is this electrostatic generator, or we can say electrostatic machine. Now what is the electrostatic machine? We already saw that the electromagnetic phenomena. What is electromagnetic phenomena? Can anyone tell me? We use it in so many motors and machines. The main popular motor is induction motor. It is also work on the electromagnetic induction. So electromagnetic phenomena is there also. So basically the electromagnetic phenomena, it is, we can say that the current carrying conductor are moved in a magnetic field, so that the mechanical energy convert into electrical energy. What we did, a current carrying conductor and moved it in the magnetic field, so it can generate electrical energy from the mechanical energy. Now in the electrostatic phenomena, it is also the same. It convert mechanical energy to electrical energy, but how? It charged bodies are moved in an electrical field against the electrostatic field. What we did in electromagnetic, we moved current carrying conductor in the magnetic field, but here the charged bodies electron charged bodies are moved in the electric field in against of electrostatic field, and in that manner we convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. This phenomenon is called electrostatic, and whatever the machines are used based on this phenomena are also can say electrostatic generator. So there are two type of generators. One is Van de Graaff generator, and second is electrostatic generator. So first we will see Van de Graaff generator. So this is the main, we can say, practical image of the Van de Graaff generator. Van de Graaff generator is a device that create high electrical potential. We can generally create a very high DC voltage in terms of millions, we can say, with using this Van de Graaff generator. This is the miniature form of this Van de Graaff generator, but this equipment is can also generate up to 10 kV or up to 50 kV also voltage. So you can imagine that the real Van de Graaff can be generate up to millions of voltage. The Van de Graaff generator was invented by the Robert J. Van de Graaff, an American physicist. Van de Graaff generator can produce electric potential up to many tens of millions of volts, right? Van de Graaff generator can be used to produce particle accelerators. We have been used this generator in our lecture demonstration. Now what is the working principle of this Van de Graaff generator, that we will see. So it works by applying a positive charge to a non-conductive moving belt using a corona discharge. Here you can see that this is the belt, and it is in terms of non-conductive. It doesn't conduct anything. It is a non-conductive material, and it will we apply a positive charge to this non-conducting moving belt using a corona discharge. So it will collect positive ions from the earth in terms of corona discharge, and then it will move this charge to upwards, and it will go up from only this thing, and it will move. The moving belt driven by an electrical motor carries the charge up into a hollow sphere, where the charge is taken from the belt by a pointed connected to the metal sphere. Here you can see it is the pointed contact, and it will connect to the metal sphere. So it will collect this positive charge whatever the metal belt is taken from with, and afterward it take this charge around the metal sphere. The charge that builds upon the metal sphere distributes itself uniformly around the outside of this sphere. The positive charge are uniformly distributed around this metal sphere. The charge that builds upon the metal sphere distributes itself uniformly around the outside of it. For this particular Van de Graaff generator, a voltage limiter is used to keep the Van de Graaff generator from producing sparks larger than desired. So this Van de Graaff generator usually itself doesn't have any limiter, so we have to keep outside limiter to make the Van de Graaff in its limit, and we can produce required how much we need, not more than that the Van de Graaff generator go out of control. Okay, so friction between acrylic roller and rubber belt lower comb sprays on a negative charge by induction. So here you can say there are two pointed. This is the lower comb. Okay, let me first remove other things. So it is the lower comb, and this is the upper comb. So what did lower comb? Lower comb sprays the negative charge by inductance, and upper comb sprays positive charge to leave negative charge on dome. So we can see here that only the positive charge are going upwards and spreading towards the metal sphere, but the negative charge are again come down. So we only collect the positive charge. So positive charge, it means that we are creating potential difference, and potential difference is in terms of it is the direct voltage. Okay, so by collecting positive charge we are generating voltage, a high direct voltage. So millions of volts achievable in dry condition. Right? So now also the Van de Graaff generator, the rubber band steel electron from glass. Here whatever the belt we use, we can also use this belt in terms of glass. So the glass becomes positively charged, the rubber band carries electron downward. So whatever the rubber one can here, it will carries the electron downwards, and positively charged glass continue to rotate. Wire brush steel electron from rubber band, this one, positively charged glass steel electron from upper brush. So the soda can, the sphere becomes positively charged up to 20 kilovolts, 20,000 kilovolts. Okay. So this is the main working principle of Van de Graaff generator. Here there are, we also see here, see that the both, here this is the lower com and this is the upper com. So the from lower com is collecting both charge from the earth, and it will rotate in the belt, and the positive charge will filter and go up in the metal sphere, and the negative charge will again come down to the ground. Here the same phenomena are giving in terms of color. Okay. Here in the Van de Graaff we also see that there is also another matter, another small sphere is giving with this ball. So what is the use of this? Why we are giving? See here you can also see that it is a glass tube, right? It is the glass tube, and this is the, so this metal sphere is collecting negative charge. Why collecting negative charge? It also helps the main metal sphere to collecting more positive charge, and with the help of this small sphere we can also easily filter out negative ions and positive ions. Now the power required to move this belt, whatever the power we required, an insulated belt is moving with uniform velocity v in an electric field of strength E of x. Suppose the width of this belt is b and the charge density is delta. Consider a length d of x of the belt and the charge dq equal to, what will be the charge of q? Sigma into b into dx, the charge density into width and into length of the belt. So the force experienced by this charge will be E into dq. So E into whatever the value we obtain here, we will put it here. So we can say that the force will be sigma into b into v. Now power required to move the belt. So force into velocity. Velocity is we define in terms of small v. So we obtain this phenomena, and now the I current is whatever charge by time. So dq by dt, we put this dq term obtain value in this equation, and we got sigma beta and dx by dt. Now dx by dt is this distance by time. So distance by time is a velocity again. So it will be same again, give as a sigma b into v. So the power which we get is in terms of v into I. Okay, this is the power we require to move the belt to generate whatever our requirement voltage. Now the advantage and disadvantage of this Van de Graaff generator. So the advantages are very high voltage can be easily generated. We can generate a voltage in, it is not dependent on any one. So we can generate voltage whatever we want, but we have to apply the limiter to make it in the limit. Second one is ripple free output, and third one is precision and flexibility of control. But there are also some disadvantages. The main disadvantage is it is low current output. The main which we saw earlier also in voltage doubler circuit, that the low current output is there. So the limitation on built velocity due to its tendency for vibration. The vibration may make it difficult to have an accurate grounding of electric fields, right? And the application, there are so many applications of this Van de Graaff. Let's see that the beam of these charged accelerated particles is used to trigger the main nuclear reaction. To trigger the nuclear reaction, we can use these accelerated particle beams are used to break atoms of for various experiments in physics also, and in medicine also. Such beams are used to treat cancer. So there are also so many applications of this Van de Graaff generator also. Now we already see the Van de Graaff generator. We will let's see another one, which is electrostatic generator. So electrostatic generator, why we need electrostatic generator? So the main drawback of Van de Graaff generator is that these are essentially high voltage but low power devices, and their power rating seldom exceeds few tens of kilowatts. So that's why we require electrostatic generator. Therefore, the electrostatic generator, which effectively convert mechanical energy into electrical energy using variable capacitor principle. Here you see variable capacitor. What is variable capacitor principle? Whatever. These are actual tools of the electromagnetic machine and are constant voltage variable capacitance machine. So let's see construction and working of this electrostatic generator. An electrostatic generator consists of a stator with inter-reveal rotor vans forming a variable capacitor and approach vacuum. Okay. See, here you can see it is the electrostatic generator. So an electrostatic generator consists of a stator with inter-reveal rotor. You can see here it is an inter-reveal rotor vans forming a variable capacitor. Here you can say that the capacitor will be very high, so here the capacitor of it will be low. So it is creating variable capacitance and operate in a vacuum. The rotor is insulated from the ground and maintained at a potential of plus V. The rotor to stator capacitance varies from Cmax to C0. Okay, and stator is connected to a common point between two rectifiers across the DC output voltage, which is minus E volt. So the current through the variable capacitor so the current through the variable capacitor I equal to C into dV by dt plus V into dC by dt. Here the C is capacitor charged to a potential V. So the power input into the circuit at any instant is P equal to V into I, and P equal to V into I. So V and the whatever the I obtained equation is V put here, so it will give us C into V dV by dt plus V square dC by dt. Now if dC by dt, if the change of capacitor in time, in terms of time is negative, mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. With the capacitor charged with a DC voltage V, C into dV by dt, that will become 0, and the power output will be given as a V square dc by dt. Now when the capacitor of the rotor is maximum, see next, the rectifier B does not conduct and the stator is at ground potential. The potential E is applied across the rectifier A and V is applied across C max. As the rotor rotates, the capacitance C decreases and the voltage across C increases. Thus, the stator becomes more negative with respect to ground. When the stator reaches the line potential minus E, the rectifier A conducts and further movement of the rotor causes the current to flow from the generator. Rectifier B will now have E across it and the charge left in the generator will be as Q0 equal to C0 V plus E plus Cs plus Cr. Now what is this Cs and Cr? Cs is stator capacitance to earth, Cr is capacitance of rectifier B to earth, and C0 is minimum capacitance of value of C. Okay, this is the schematic diagram which we see. So synchronous electrostatic generator with interval stator and rotor blade is shown here. The rotor is insulated and grounded from plus V. Now when the capacitance of the rotor is maximum Cm, the rectifier B here, the rectifier B does not conduct and the stator is at ground position. The potential E is applied across the rectifier A and V is applied across the Cm. Okay, and C decreases and the voltage across C is increases. Thus the stator becomes more negative with respect to the ground. So we saw that Q0 equal to C0 V plus E plus E Cs plus Cr. Okay, a generator of this type with an output voltage of 1 MV and a field gradient of 1 MV by Semi in high vacuum and having 16 rotor poles, 50 rotor plates of 4 feet maximum and 2 feet minimum diameter at a speed of 400,000 rpm would develop 7 megawatt of power. So here you can say that the electrostatic generator can also generate in terms of mega, the direct voltage. So up till now we saw main two method with using rectification method and second one with using electrostatic phenomena. In rectification method we saw half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, voltage doubler circuit, cascaded voltage doubler circuit, can also say voltage multiplier circuit. And in electrostatic phenomena we saw two main things, Van de Graaff generator and second one is electrostatic generator. In Van de Graaff generator what we did, we collect the potential charge from the ground in terms of corona effect and we move it with using moving belt and collect this positive charge in the metal sphere and filtered out the negative charge with using Opercon, and we in terms of this we are generating high direct voltage. In an electrostatic generator we are using the principle of variable capacitance, but here we can also say that the output of this electrostatic generator is the constant. Whatever the high direct voltage we got, it is in terms of constant manner. So electrostatic generator up till now the main, or we can say very beneficial, the high directional is the electrostatic generator. So now in next lecture we will see the other methods to generate the high direct voltage. Okay, goodbye, take care.